At the University of California, Riverside, scientists are also investigating the tantalizing possibilities of extending life. Professor Stephen Spindler is manipulating hormones through food, but for the time being, he is confining his studies to mice.
There's really one way that we know about that's been shown in many laboratories around the world to extend lifespan, and that's calorie restriction. Unfortunately, that means eating less.
These mice would normally live for 2 years. The calorie-restricted mouse should live for 3. This leaner, fitter mouse eats about half as much as its unrestricted brother and is healthier.
The calorie-restricted mice are not only leaner, but they're stronger and they have better balance and they're better able to stay on this rod. Many hormones change in the body when calories are restricted. Blood glucose levels go down, and they go down because you're eating less. And when that happens, your insulin levels go down as well, and that's good. Having low insulin and low blood glucose levels is good for you.
If the hormonal effects of calorie restriction could be bottled, we could live for 150 years.
I feel confident that we'll be able to slow aging in the future. We may even be able to reverse aspects of it. We're making tremendous progress in all biomedical sciences. It's astounding how fast the research is progressing, so I think we should be optimistic.
In the state of Oregon lives a man who is part of an experiment to see how calorie restriction works in people. Brian Manning Delaney is literally sacrificing one of life's great pleasures, eating, in the pursuit of a longer, much longer life.
The basic principle behind calorie restriction as a means to slow aging is eating less calories but not less vitamins and minerals and protein. That's the basic idea. And somehow the body undergoes changes that enable it to use the calories or the energy that we take in more efficiently, and thereby it ends up damaging itself less in making use of this energy. So for me that means whole grain cereal in the morning and fruits and vegetables and some beans for dinner.
I was on a very moderate calorie restriction diet for a couple of years when Brian, a little bit after Brian got doing it. And it was great. I had lots of energy. I felt great. I wasn't eating any cheese. And life without cheese just really, I couldn't do it.
I can't sit down with a huge 14-inch pizza and eat the whole thing like I did when I was in high school or college. And there's this very specific pleasure to eating really fatty food until your stomach is about
just
to burst.
Stuffing your face.
There's something in the salty taste of the fat dripping down and pooling in the bottom of your mouth. And you just keep eating and you keep eating. That's a pleasure I cannot have on this diet. One of the things I do is I skip lunch, so it compresses the periods of hunger into really 2 periods, late afternoon and right before bed. Knowing that the most intense hunger is going to be in predictable times during the day makes it a little bit easier.
Brian is an academic, and in his spare time he runs a website for people so determined to live longer that they are offering themselves up as human guinea pigs. They eat around 1,500 calories a day. That's roughly half of normal daily intake. Today Brian is testing his hormone levels to see what has happened to them after 7 years of constant dieting.
Many of the hormones that we're having tested today, I haven't had tested before, so it'll be interesting to see how they are in reference to the norm and how they are in reference to what I expect them to be, given that I'm on this diet. So it's exciting to find out whether or not the diet works.
Forever young. May you stay.
Hi, Brian. Come on in. John DiTomaso, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Have a seat.
First of all, why don't you tell me why you're getting so many hormone levels?
That's a good question. I want to see whether or not the results that I'm getting here parallel those that are seen in the laboratory studies with rodents.
Well, let's go over your results.
Great.
Many hormones change in the body when calories are restricted. We don't really know yet which of those is the important change. It's likely that the change that takes place in glucose and insulin levels are important. Let's start with glucose. Yours was 80, normal range is 70 to 109.
Okay, good.
Cortisol was roughly 15, and normal is 5 to 25. Okay, DHEA sulfate was 126, and normal is 120 to 520, so a little low normal there. Insulin was 8, and the reference range is 0 to 30. Normal.
That's good.
So normal, but on the kind of low side.
Sounds good. Well, thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming.
You bet.
I wish that I could guarantee that he is aging more slowly, but I can't. No one can right now. But the chances are that he is.
Insulin, for example, we really should expect to be lower than normal on this diet. Mine is 8. So in the next few months, when my diet gets restricted even more, I expect this to go hand in hand with the level of restriction. It really should keep going down 7, 6, 5, 4.
I think that the calorie restriction research will eventually lead to a therapy. I don't know what form that therapy will take. It may take the form of a pill or a shot that you can get that will reproduce some of the effects of calorie restriction.
I think if I knew that medical research was going to halt forever today, and that therefore I would have to be on this diet for another century to reap the full benefits, I'd have to think twice about it. 100 years is a long time to be hungry.